Welcome to Motivation at Hand, MA. To know is to know how. Confucius, who lived in China during the period from 551 to 479 BCE, was renowned as a teacher, advisor, editor, philosopher, reformer, and prophet. His name, Confucius, a Latinized combination of the surname Kong and the honorific suffix master, Fuzi, has become synonymous with various aspects of traditional East Asian society, reflecting his significant influence and enduring legacy. He observed how the modern materialistic society, with its focus on money, pleasure, fame, and power, does not lead to happiness. Instead, it results in a growing sense of emptiness, anxiety, suffering, and loneliness. His intention was to redirect our attention to the exploration of our soul and to re-establish our connection with our true selves. Our innermost sanctuary is a journey of self-discovery, encompassing our conscious and unconscious lives, which together form our complete and authentic personality. Jung referred to this as the individual process and our path towards psychological growth. It acts as an unshakable foundation that supports us when we face challenges, like a solid rock that remains steadfast despite being battered by the waves of life. Even in the midst of life's turmoil, being in touch with this deeper part of ourselves brings tranquility, shielding us from turbulent emotional fluctuations. The goal in life is not to achieve perfection, but rather to attain wholeness, according to Jung. There are two stages of life, with the first half focused on external aspects such as work, education, and relationships. It is during this phase that we immerse ourselves in daily life and hard work, which helps shape our personalities. Nature, akin to the nourishing soul of the earth, provides a rich source of healing nutrients. Hence, maintaining a connection with nature is important. However, we should not lose ourselves in abstract thinking to the detriment of practical living. Our bodies, emotions, and instincts serve as vital links connecting us to the grounding soil. Even in his old age, Jung continued to appreciate this way of life. He remarked, "I have lived without electricity and personally tended to the fireplace and stove. In the evenings, I would light old lamps. There was no running water, so I would pump it from the well. I chopped wood and cooked my own food." These simple acts bring simplicity to a person's life, and being simple can be incredibly challenging. This connection to reality acts as a prerequisite for the second half of life, where our focus turns inward, towards our inner world and the exploration of our individuality. During this phase, Jung places greater emphasis on the realm of the unconscious, the domain of the inner life, which is as vast as the outer world we perceive. Unfortunately, many individuals neglect this part of themselves and only exist half-heartedly. Unprepared for the natural transition into the second half of life, they often encounter a midlife crisis because they haven't learned to integrate both inner and outer worlds. When faced with the harsh realities of life, they desperately seek their souls, realizing that the societal values they have learned provide no solace. Conformity, rather than cowardice, becomes the opposite of courage in our society. We are frequently enticed to take the seemingly easier path of blending in with the crowd and forgetting our true selves. Standing against the crowd requires courage, as a person can be surrounded by others and still feel utterly alone, disconnected from their authentic selves. The search for the soul is a personal and solitary task. When we avoid addressing our souls, they continue to stir within us, causing restlessness and depriving us of inner peace. Yet, these challenges and difficulties serve as incentives for us to embark on the work of the soul, without which we are unlikely to find the determination to overcome the indifference of daily life. People will go to great lengths, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. As the saying goes, the path to destruction is wide, and many enter through it, but the gateway to peace is narrow, and none may enter except through the affliction of the soul. It is wise to nurture the soul, for if neglected, it can give rise to inner turmoil and negative emotions. Jung recognized that the loss of soul leads to a sense of meaninglessness in life, Just as when a tribe loses its belief in the worthiness of its way of life, it may cease to reproduce or, in large numbers, simply give up and perish by the rivers teeming with fish. Food alone is not sufficient nourishment for humanity. In contrast, Jung invites us to embark on a profound adventure of self-discovery, a journey into our inner world, the realm of the unconscious. This exploration constitutes the true essence of life. Without the soul, the body is lifeless, and without the body, the soul remains unreal. The soul is the dwelling place of our highest values. Dreams serve as the guiding words of the soul, and we must cherish them in our hearts and contemplate their significance in our minds, much like we would value the words of our dearest loved ones. Dreams provide a hidden door within the depths of the soul, opening into the cosmic night that existed long before our ego consciousness emerged. Apart from dreams, Jung developed the technique of active imagination, wherein one engages in a dialogue with different aspects of their unconscious self while fully awake and conscious. It is akin to dreaming while in a wakeful state. Jung discovered this technique during his own personal experience of the dark night of the soul, a midlife existential crisis that submerged him in unknown depths and overwhelmed him with visions. It felt as though he underwent a psychological death, leading him to conclude that facing inner death is preferable to succumbing to outer death. Thus, he turned away from his previous path and embarked on a search for his soul. This journey eventually resulted in one of his most significant contributions to mankind, the writing of the Red Book, Liber Novus, where he addresses his soul, asking, my soul, where are you? Do you hear me? I speak, I call you. Are you there? I have returned. I am here again. I have rid myself of all the dust of the land and come to you. I am with you. After many years of wandering, I have returned to you. There is only one path to the soul, and that is your own path. There is only one salvation, and it is your own salvation. If the way before you appears clear, then you are likely following someone else's path. Each person must find their own unique way. Therefore, turn inward and discover what you must fulfill, for it lies within you. When we are in touch with our inner selves, we are more likely to encounter synchronicities, meaningful patterns in life that reveal the correspondence between our inner world and external reality. The initial step towards individuality involves integrating our shadow. The shadow is not an enemy but an ally, as it holds pure gold waiting to be assimilated into our personality. It only becomes dark when we ignore it. We must be mindful of our emotional impulses and avoid projecting our own problems onto innocent individuals. By confronting and integrating the shadow, we can then venture into the deepest recesses of the soul, where Jung explores the anima, the female psychological tendencies in men, and the animus, the male psychological tendencies in women. These aspects represent the contrasting images of the soul within our psyche. While integrating the shadow is a necessary initial step, the integration of the anima and animus is considered the masterpiece. Embracing the anima involves taking the feelings, moods, and fantasies of the unconscious seriously and manifesting them in the outer world through creative pursuits such as painting, writing, sculpture, or musical composition. On the other hand, the animus provides meaning to our unconscious contents, endowing women with qualities of initiative, courage, objectivity, and spiritual wisdom, while cautioning against becoming trapped in dreamy thoughts that disconnect them from the realities of life. The integration of the soul image, known as the self, represents the ultimate goal. It can only be achieved through the union of opposites, where our light and dark sides merge. Jung's concept of the individual process shares similarities with the alchemist's great work, wherein the philosopher's stone symbolizes the self and is found within oneself. Alchemy, as Jung saw it, was a psychological task, an art of expanding consciousness and self-realization. When we feel lost or uncertain about our life's path, surrendering to the higher wisdom of the self becomes the only solution. The self, our constant companion throughout life, guides us and offers insights. Jung did not consider himself a healer, but rather a guide who could facilitate self-healing. The healing process naturally emerges from within the wounded individual. Engaging in this search for self allows for empathy, mutual understanding, and the desire to support others on their own journeys of psychological growth. As we improve our relationship with ourselves, with others, and with nature, life transforms from a problem to be solved into a mysterious and profound experience. We do not need esoteric knowledge to connect with our inner selves. Anyone can take the time to introspect, contemplate the meaning of life, and devote attention to values, interests, and activities that bring joy and fulfillment on a personal level. As Jung said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes." Thank you for joining us in this journey while our country is in turmoil. Aim for the golden mean: stay grounded. Much appreciation to you for giving of your time with us at Motivation at Hand. To know is to know how. We trust you will come back soon.